sleeping on the street. I'm a capable human being.
Making conscious next steps.
I'm a conscious
and seeing growth really happen.
We some hip hop niggas, like we don't need to vocalize it to make shit like that's what I grew up with.
12-hour day type shit.
Listeners, thank you guys all so much for tuning in. You're now listening to the Flyer Pop Podcast. I got some beautiful guests with me today.
Welcome to the Flyer Population Podcast. I am your host, Danny O'Fay. Remy is not here with us today. He's actually doing some background, some production, some engineering for us today. I got a really great guest with us, Corey Gray. He does awesome photography. Go ahead and let him know a little bit about what you do.
I'm Corey Gray. I do photography and videography based in the Northern Virginia area. I get a lot of work in D.C. as well. Don't really touch Maryland too much, but yeah, I'm just in the DMV area for the most part.
Word up. And as always, we are at Fruit Studios in the heart of Herndon. Book your session. Come through. Got Sneak and Benji. They do great work, engineering and production. So, this is all in-house if you ever need anything. But yeah, man, so like I said, I'm really excited to have you out here. Thank you for coming on by. There's a lot of different things that I want to take check up on and talk about.
Cool.
For one, like we always ask, like, where are you from?
I live in Ashburn right now.
Okay. Did you grow up in Ashburn?
Grew up in Leesburg mostly.
Gotcha.
I was in Leesburg for like 15 years.
Okay.
So most of my life. Lived in Sterling a little bit. Just been in Ashburn the past like 2 or 3 years.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Leesburg mostly.
Where were you born? Were you born in Leesburg?
Nah, Fairfax.
Oh, okay.
Fairfax.
So you're Nova.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Always been here. Unfortunately, always been here. Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up,
Yeah.
man. What were you like as a kid?
Pretty social. Younger, I was into sports more.
Mm-hmm.
Did soccer a little bit, flag football, basketball. Turned into tackle and basketball, AAU. Always into sports.
Did you have hoop dreams?
Nah. I always really enjoyed. I loved football. Really liked basketball, but I never wanted to play collegiately.
Okay.
It's just a big commitment. I have friends that played in college or in pro, and it's just like I've seen the commitment that it takes, and I was just never willing to give up my college life.
Yeah.
Or my time that much to commit, because it's like a job. They don't pay college athletes obviously, but it's a job.
It's a hustle, man.
Yeah.
Like 5 a.m. to
man,
to
what?
lift
And then you still got class. Yeah, and then you might
that.
have film. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Do you have a lot of family in the area since you're from the area?
Nah. I live with my mom and dad. I have 2 younger brothers. They're down in Virginia Beach for school. As far as family, other than that, my grandparents live like 2 miles from here. A lot of my mom's side of the family's in New York.
Gotcha.
I have some family on my dad's side in D.C. and Maryland, but kind of scattered out. So
Gotcha.
I'm not real close with like my extended family. But
Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if you get out to New York to go see your mom's side.
No, actually, we're going up for a family reunion this summer.
Oh, really?
I haven't seen most of those people since I was like real little.
Okay.
So hopefully I can reconnect with some family members. But
That's what's
yeah,
up.
as of right now, no.
Okay. Do y'all do like the family reunion every year or?
I think our family does do it. We haven't been to one in a long time.
Yeah.
I think this one coming up is supposed to be a big one or something like
Gotcha.
that. So I think a lot of people from a lot of different places are coming. So we're definitely going. But yeah, we haven't been to one since I think we had one in Atlanta in like 99.
Okay.
I think that was the last one we've been to.
Wow.
So
Cool, man. That
Yeah.
should be a good time.
Yeah,
Link up
absolutely.
with cousins and all that.
yeah, exactly.
Did you used to like snap shots of the family with like those instant Polaroids or anything?
You know,
like
it's
that?
crazy. I had a camera that my grandfather got me years ago, film camera, just point and shoot, and not like the reunions or whatever, but family cookouts or just like around Christmas, Thanksgiving, stuff like that. We would have family over like at my grandparents' house, like my uncle and his kids, my cousins would come. And I would just take pictures of everybody and stuff like that, and my mom would go to like Costco or whatever and get it developed for me, and I had a photo album. I put it in there. So some family situations I was taking pictures. That was like elementary school.
Yeah.
And I got into middle school, took sports more seriously, and just kind of like put the camera down.
Wow.
So what I'm doing now, like it's kind of weird. Everything kind of comes full circle.
Right.
But I didn't plan on doing this. Just kind of happened that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you always had some. Did you have a love for it when you were a kid?
I had a love for art overall.
Okay.
So I used to draw all the time. I would draw in class and not pay attention.
Yeah.
Just draw on like weekends, like Saturday I'd spend all day in my room just drawing. I got a little bit older, I started paint more than I did draw.
Mhm.
But I was always in art overall.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What were you drawing or painting?
I was a Dragon Ball Z fanatic.
Word. Yeah, man.
And the Boondocks.
Okay.
Fanatic. So those two I would draw all the time. I always like really liked animals too. So I used to draw animals. As far as painting, I didn't get into painting until like college.
Oh, okay.
Just more abstract stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just experimenting.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man. And what about now? Like, I know you said you kind of were like the family photographer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, are you the family photographer now?
You know, it's crazy. So I hadn't done family pictures, at least for my family, in a long time. Obviously, like if my brothers needed like graduation pictures or something, I was the one to do them. But as far as like family pictures, I hadn't done in a while. So, not this past Thanksgiving last year, Thanksgiving 2017, my grandma ahead of time she told me she wanted to take family pictures. So we all had to like plan our outfits and whatever. And we hadn't had like formal family pictures since I think like 2005.
Okay.
So over 10 years ago, like all of us look completely different.
Right.
So she put me in charge of it, and it was interesting. Did it in my grandparents' basement. It was me, me and my family, my grandparents, my uncle, my aunt, and then their kids.
Okay.
So my cousins. It was just a lot of people to direct. So my grandma wanted it like she wanted pictures with just her and my grandpa. They wanted pictures of me and my family. They wanted just me and my brothers, my uncle's family. There's like every combination you could think of.
Yeah.
And I hadn't, I've done family pictures and stuff like that. But as far as like doing my own family, that was my first experience doing that. So it was interesting. And my grandma was like real particular.
Yeah.
So I had to be like strict with her a couple times.
Wow.
Like no, yeah.
I feel like when you say interesting, it's like key or like code for that shit was annoying. Or
No. So it's funny. I told her straight up. I was like, I'm not doing this again. I told her. And I love my girl. That's my family. You know what I'm saying? I was like maybe like once every like 5 years.
Right.
Like this isn't gonna be a yearly thing.
Makes sense, man. Yeah, family definitely.
It was rough.
But yeah, when did you first pick up the camera like as a creative outlet?
So, really good question. Probably either senior year of high school or freshman year of college.
Okay.
I went to Nova after high school. And I had a, you remember like the MySpace days, like everyone had those, like small like digital cameras and you just take your mirror pictures of them. I had one of those and I had like the little video knob. So I started recording some video. Just like messing around with that.
Okay.
And then I would put it in like iMovie on my computer, just like mess around editing stuff like that. And then I just wanted a little bit better quality. So I was working like, in a retail job while I was in school, whatever. So I bought a camcorder. Started using the camcorder. And then I saw that the industry was shifting towards like DSLRs for video. So then I, put a little bit more money behind it, bought a DSLR.
Okay. For those that don't know, what is a DSLR?
It's just your basic. No, it's not basic. It's a pretty heavy duty digital camera. It's the standard. Anytime you're watching like an NBA basketball game or NFL, and they're normally black. You see like the big cameras, like normally about that tall. It's a DSLR, so it's just a digital camera, but it has like a lot of manual settings to give you whatever look you want.
Word.
But yeah, got my first DSLR. Was doing video, and then got into photography because one of my friends, she's a dancer, and she hit me up. This is around when Instagram started to blow up a little bit.
Okay.
And a clothing company reached out to her, and they wanted to basically pay her to model, some clothes or whatever. She had a photographer. I guess he was busy or out of town or whatever it was, and she needed the pictures pretty soon. So she hit me up, and I was like, I just do video. And she insisted. And I was like, look, if these pictures end up bad, like, we were friends. So I was like, these pictures end up bad, like, I don't want to hear it. So I did the pictures. She loved them. And I was able to edit because I learned Photoshop. I took a multimedia class my senior year of high school.
Okay.
So I already knew Photoshop. Yeah, and then posted those and did a couple shoots. People started to like it, and just kind of took off from there. So that was like 2014. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, man, that's a short time. 5 years.
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you started off videography, more so photography.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What were some of the things that you were trying to capture in those days?
So I remember the first few videos I did. I'm just messing around. Like, I didn't look at this as a career. I just enjoyed, editing video and stuff like that. So the first video I did was, there was a basketball court across the street from my house. I had my brother just take my camera, just record me doing different moves and like crazy layups and stuff like that.
Back in your ball
yeah,
days.
exactly. I would just slow mos and rewinds and just stuff like that. Second video I did was I was skateboarding in my neighborhood. I had my brother do the same thing, and then third video I did was my brother was dancing in our living room. I didn't tell him to dance or nothing. He was just dancing, just recorded it. Started messing around with it. I was like, all right, like I really like this. So I was just recording random stuff, just messing around with it. I just enjoyed like editing at the time.
Yeah. Was it for you, or did you post any of that?
And that was just for me. So I mean, at the time, like again, it was just MySpace, but content creation wasn't a thing yet.
Right.
So like MySpace. This is like MySpace was like fading out. Facebook started to go on the rise.
Gotcha.
So again, Instagram was like around, but not. It was like most like
phases.
following your friends. Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, content creation wasn't really a thing, so I was just making stuff for fun. Like I truly just enjoyed it. Yeah.
That's what's up, man. Did you have any aspirations when you were doing that, like in the early days?
I literally had like no desire to do this professionally at all. I was in college, getting my communications degree.
Okay.
That changed once I got into this more. Luckily, I went to George Mason. Luckily, the communications courses pretty much lined up with the film and video degree, and my graphic design minor, because it's still like in the communication space, I guess.
Okay.
It's similar to like journalism and stuff like
Gotcha.
that. So all my courses like lined up, so I wasn't behind as far as graduating or anything like that, so it worked out. But as far as professionally, like I didn't realize I could make money from it until I started posting on Instagram. Just like post a picture here, like looking back, the videos are awful. Like they're awful. Same with the pictures, but I was just posting it just because like it was like I wasn't even like really proud of it. It was just like I decided to post like this picture I took, this video I made, and people started to hit me up like, yo, how much do you charge? And I'm like, yo,
like friends, family, or like
just like I mean, friends on Instagram, not really family. People that had just followed me, stuff like that. Like, just like, how much do you charge? And I'm like, yo, I can make money off this.
Right.
And that's when I kind of like realized. I mean, even then, I just like did it as side money. I was worked some retail through college. Ended up teaching. I was a kindergarten teacher.
Oh wow.
And then I didn't take it seriously
After you graduated.
Yeah. So I was doing it starting junior year of college.
Okay.
They were super flexible with my schedule, so I just stuck with the job. Became a manager before I graduated college. Stayed a year after I graduated, and the way I ended up shooting full time was it was the month of May, and I had so I was working Monday through Friday, like 8 to 5, 9 to 5, whatever it is, and all my weekends were booked the entire month of May.
Right.
And at the end of May, I counted all my money, and it was the same amount of money that I made working full time.
Wow.
For the whole month, and I was like, yo,
Just
this is wild.
2 days a
but
week.
even then, it didn't hit me. I was like, yo, this is wild. Like that was it.
Yeah.
So then, by like the end of May, I had all of Rewind. That happened in April.
Okay.
Then I had all of May booked out. So same thing happened, and I was like, yo, this is nuts. Happened for all of June, and I was like, yo, like this is like God's like trying to say something to me, like this is a sign. So I talked to my parents about it, prayed a lot about it. One of my friends, he's an entrepreneur, talked to him about it, and I just had the confidence to do it. And I stayed with the job. I had some bills to pay and stuff like that, so I stuck with it through like August, and then I bounced out.
Word.
Yeah.
Hey man, I first actually got introduced to your work through Instagram.
Okay.
It was either Bria or Dante. I can't remember. It was one
Yeah.
of the two, Bria Nunley or Dante. But it was around the time that you did. What was it called? It was the Portrait Pleasure album.
Which one? I did two.
Volume 1.
Yeah,
It was Volume
yeah.
1, yeah.
Yes.
So it was way back. This is what,
Like
2
years
No,
ago?
this was way back, like 2
Yeah.
years ago. But yeah, bro, that was like a really dope concept. Like I thought it was really cool that you did that. What made you want to do something like that?
So to be honest with you, again, Instagram used to just be like follow your friends, whatever it was. Then it was like follow celebrities, see what celebrities are doing. I came across early in Instagram. I came across a couple photographers. One, I loved his portrait work, like just portraits. That's all he does, portraits. Started getting into portraits more and more and more and more. And kind of like that's where kind of like my eye and my passion for photography came from, was like seeing his portrait work. I was like, yo, I want to do portraits. So then what I did was I just hit up people that I knew from like high school or, you know, just growing up or whatever. And I just had an idea. I was like, you know, I want to be able to shoot portraits, but I want to give people the creative freedom in terms of me. I wanted it to be a collaborative process.
Okay.
So it's not just like, hey, you're wearing this. This is all I want you to do. I'm taking your picture at the end. Like, I wanted people to be able to express themselves through my project. So I wanted it to be a, you know, team effort. So I let them pick, you know, whatever they wanted. Literally the only stipulation was they had to use I had to shoot them in front of a white backdrop. Okay. That was it. They had to pick their outfit, you know, their hair, whatever they want to do. Makeup, no makeup. Yeah, and then as far as like I did the pictures, and then all I asked for them was like a bio. So it could be something super simple, could be about your goals, could have been about like a struggle you were going through or have been through, like literally whatever you wanted. And some people like opened up like for real, like no, for real. Like one person, I've been friends with her since middle school, and I didn't ask for them to give it to me in person. I said, you know, take your time, whatever, type it up on a Word document or email it to me. So then I had it more organized.
Right.
And then that way it was worded exactly how they wanted, because they got to read over it and stuff. And then one girl opened up about she had an eating disorder. Again, this is when was this? 2 years ago?
Was it? It was like
3 years ago? 16. Yeah.
2016.
And I had known her since like 2006, like 10 years at the time. Had no idea. One of my other friends, like best friend, she did poetry. Had like, I've known her since like 8th grade. So I've been like, you know, again, almost 10 years. Yeah. Had no idea she did poetry. So then that helped her. She actually made a poetry Instagram after that. Started posting her poetry. So to me, that was like, it was just like real eye opening. Yeah. Like number one, like everyone has their own things going on. Like you never, and these are my friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they didn't open up about some of this stuff. And number two, like, you know, my art can help other people feel comfortable to share either things about themselves or their art as well. Yeah. So I just thought that was nuts.
That's really dope, man. Yeah. That's powerful to be able to like. Did you feel like really proud when she made her Instagram and started sharing like her poetry? Yeah, that's a really dope feeling, man. But one thing that you said I want to touch back on,
absolutely,
is you were speaking about God. Are you a spiritual person or religious person?
I am. Okay. Not a big church goer. Okay. I don't have anything against church. I just my family used to go to church. One of my uncles is a pastor.
Oh, really? Around this area?
D.C., Maryland. Okay. And then
is he like old school black pastor? I give you the.
He's not. He don't be doing nothing crazy. But no, we once because I have two younger brothers. One's he'll be 22 this month actually. Okay. My youngest brother, he's 20. So we all started to get into sports more at the same time. So an AAU happened. So it was like, you know, your Friday, Saturday, Sunday, like basketball. So we got in the habit of not going. I still pray, you know, multiple times a day. I'm religious. I'm not a church goer specifically. But yeah, I'm definitely religious. Okay. I'm strong in my faith.
That's what's up, man. Is there anything that you like? Do you pray before shoots? Do you pray like just being thankful for life?
I pray. I don't have a prayer. But every morning I pray for. I pray to just have a blessed day. Yeah. I always pray over friends and family for their success, their happiness, their, you know, health. If I'm thinking about someone throughout the day, I'll say a random prayer for that person. Nightly prayer, pretty much same as my morning one. Yeah. I pray for like the next day, and other than that, I just pray over like my food. Yeah, that's it.
Does that help you like mentally? Like if you ever like in a downtime, do you like pray, and does that help? Bring you back centered?
Yeah. Especially doing what I do, I have a lot of alone time. Okay. So if I'm going through something, I'm like in my space, in my head a lot. Okay. Luckily, I'm like a pretty positive person. So I don't really have any low moments or nothing like that. Gotcha. I mean, that could be attributed to me praying all the time. Okay. So, you know.
Gotcha. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. But yeah, hopping back to the Portrait Pleasure. Yeah. Around that time, now to me at least, it seemed like you were starting to gain momentum. Like people were starting to like hit you up because they saw that saw the book and they were like, "This is dope. Like we like your work." Right. Were people just reaching out to you because of that, because they saw the album, or were you doing other things as well?
I was. That's not why people started reaching out. I was just doing, again, at the time, I was teaching when I did that, but so I was doing it on the side. And when I shot that, shooting in the studio at night after work, that might have been a lie. I might have been full-time at the time. Regardless, I was shooting at night because I had to work around other people's schedules.
Right.
I wanted to make it convenient for other people. But I was paying for studio time, so I tried to stack it where, you know, I wasn't booking like an hour slot at a studio and I was shooting one person. I shoot fast. So, and that helped me learn how to shoot faster was I would book the studio for 2 hours. I would shoot 10 people. Yeah. It's like back to back to back to back to back.
Is that not the norm in the industry?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah. You have one person probably like for like 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
It also depends on outfit changes and stuff like
Gotcha.
that. But, and it would just mean normally you have like creative director, stylist, hair, makeup, and then you have someone kind of overseeing and making sure you're staying on schedule.
Damn.
I was, you know, doing all that.
Right.
But I like being a one-man. I love working with other people, but I also don't mind being a one-man show. I don't like having to depend on other people.
Right.
But again, I do like collaboration. So as far as like me building momentum, I was still doing like other work and stuff like that, but it was nothing creative. Like this was like my first like creative project.
Gotcha.
And what helped, which I didn't realize at the time, was, you know, say, because I had been doing like pictures of friends and stuff, and they would tag me or whatever. But this was the first like project I did.
Okay.
So I think it was 20. Was it 20 people? Somewhere between 10 and 20 people. So say, I just say it's 20, right? Let's say each of those people has 100 followers, right?
Okay.
Say each of those 20 people tag me in a picture, right? Most people have more than 100 followers.
Right.
But you do that math, and that's a reach of 2,000 people. Yeah. Obviously, there's some overlap and stuff like that depending on networks, but like that's crazy.
Right.
Like I took pictures of 20 people. If they only had 100 followers each, or let's say only 100 people saw that, that's still a reach of 2,000 people. That's insane. So then I started realizing the power of networking, number one, and then number two, just like working with other people. Like you could reach completely different networks that you wouldn't have touched otherwise.
Yeah. Real quick, man. Yeah. You said that was like kind of, it wasn't like the first creative thing you did, but that was one of the creative things that you were doing at the time. What do you mean? Like what else were you doing that wasn't creative?
I was just doing shoots, like nothing out of the ordinary. So like just like modeling.
Okay.
I was trying to get into weddings at the time, but I hadn't cracked into them yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I was mostly just doing like portraits and fashion stuff. Like again, I was making money. Like I was, you know, making money off of like, you know, someone just wants pictures of themselves, or, you know, me and my boyfriend, or like, you know, me and my girlfriend, or like, you know, stuff like that. But I wasn't making insane money, and it was the work that I was doing wasn't as diverse as it is now.
Gotcha.
It was mostly just like small, quick hit jobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you understand your worth at that time? Like, were you charging people what you should have been charging, or were you?
So I understood the balance. So I knew that I was newer.
Okay.
And I was still learning, so I charged a certain rate, and then when I felt comfortable enough, I was like, I'm better than this rate that I'm charging.
Okay.
I'm increasing starting now.
About what time? What year was that?
2000. It was before I went full time, so probably 2000. Late 2016.
Okay.
Yeah, late 2016.
Gotcha. Okay.
Before that, I was doing a lot of free work. Nothing wrong with doing free work.
Was that to build your portfolio?
Yeah, build my portfolio. Yeah, that's mostly it. A lot of it was like I was leaning on friends to shoot.
Gotcha.
You know, people sign up to take pictures for free any day.
Yeah.
So especially like they were my friends, they didn't mind helping out or whatever. So that was fine. But yeah, most of it was free until I built my portfolio, and then I charged a lower rate when I felt comfortable with my work, and I guess not comfortable, but just confident enough to say this is what I charge, and like I'm sticking to it. That probably took like another year.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. When, or not when, but well, I guess so. When did you break into the weddings? Like, how did that happen for you,
bro? So, weddings were weddings and concerts were the two toughest things to get into.
Those pay, right? Those pay pretty well.
Concerts, it depends. Right now I shoot concerts for free just 'cause I love music. I'm a big concert goer. I love festivals. And, you know, if you have a strong enough concert portfolio, you could shoot for a big festival like Rolling Loud or something. Or,
Right.
like, you could end up touring with a music artist.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind it. It's straight. As far as weddings go, so there was about a year, solid year, where I was trying to get into weddings.
Okay.
Problem with weddings is, so if you're getting married, right? And I offer, hey, I'll do your wedding pictures, your wedding video, whatever it is. And you're like, all right, let me see your work. And I'm like, I've never done a wedding. Are you really gonna hire me? That's like one of the biggest days of your life. Besides like, you know, having kids, it's probably like the biggest day of your life. So are you really gonna pay me to
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So that was the problem I kept running into, and people would see my portraits or my fashion stuff and know the quality of work that I provided, but weddings aren't portraits and fashion. So, you know, for me, like me personally, like, you know, as a photographer and videographer, I wouldn't trust someone that's never done it with my wedding.
Yeah.
So I'm saying all of that to say, I tried for about a year, didn't get into it. My mom's a clinical manager.
Okay.
There's a woman and her daughter both work at my mom's job. The woman's daughter was getting married, and I started working at my mom's office part-time, just on Saturdays for extra money, just receptionist. So people at the office, there were a few people at the office that knew me that also worked Saturdays. Other than that, like, they just knew me from seeing me at my appointments. My mom's been there for a long time, so they've seen me kind of grow up a little bit. My mom would share my work, you know, every once in a while, and she was like, hey, I guess a word around the office, started going around that she was looking for a wedding videographer. My mom sent my portfolio, had no weddings on it, right? But I had other stuff to show that I'm capable of shooting, just hadn't done a wedding specifically. They took a chance, hired me, I did the wedding, killed the video, they loved it, and I've probably gotten like 5 or 6 wedding referrals off of them. Wow. That's how that started. But then another problem that happened was, so that was all wedding video. I got stuck in wedding video, and I wanted to get into wedding photography. I've always been a person, like, I want to try it. I want to try everything. Okay. And see what I like and don't like.
So when people hire somebody for a wedding, they'll hire a photographer and a videographer?
Separate, yep.
Wow.
So it used to just be photography within the past, like, 3 years. Probably, 2 or 3 years, like, wedding videos, like, popped. Okay. Just, social media and content creation. Yeah. Like, people, you can get an experience from the wedding pictures, right? But say we're, distant family members or whatever, you couldn't make my wedding for whatever reason. A wedding video shares the entire day, the entire experience.
Can the artist or whoever the person that they hire, can they not do both? Can they not be the photographer and
I've been asked to do both, and I always object. I put my foot down and say no, and they're willing to pay me the photographer and videographer rate, which is the same money. Because I want the quality to be where it should be for their special day. My job as a photographer or videographer, when I'm doing something for someone else, is to look out for their best interest and make sure that they are getting more than what they paid for. So, for example, for a wedding, right? You have, let's say the bride is being walked down the aisle by her father, right? Most of the time for wedding video and pictures, you're behind. Sometimes you're in front. Most of the time you're behind getting rewind. For video, I'm always behind, so I'll get them walking down the aisle from behind. Okay. For photography, you're in front. Okay. I can't do both. You see what I'm saying? Very true. Also, let's say you're not even worried about that part, right? Let's say you're talking about just like exchange vows. You may not kiss the bride, right? If I'm doing video, I can't do your pictures. So when you have your wedding photo album or whatever it is, you don't have a picture of the marriage kiss. Okay. Rewind. Let's say I'm doing pictures. I get pictures of the kiss, right? Now, let's say I didn't do video. I'm editing your wedding video. I don't have the part where you literally got married. Yeah, the vows and all that. Okay. So it depends on the situation. There are, like, if it's an event, like fitness event or any event that doesn't have like an itinerary necessarily, it's just like an overall event. I do both. Okay. Weddings, I object every single day of the week. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. It's definitely a special day. So, okay, I got it. And again, it's my job. My job is to look out for the best interests of whoever's trying to hire me. And I can tell the type of work that you do, and obviously the customer service that you provide has definitely I would assume, helped you get to where you are. So, to be honest with you, a friend of mine taught me, he has a digital marketing agency. Okay. So, he taught me last week how to do digital marketing. So, I don't do any marketing, like no promotion, like nothing, which he was shocked at. Because
Straight
most,
referrals.
yeah, it literally straight referrals, and I'm on year 2 of shooting full time off of referrals, which is kind of insane. Like I didn't realize how insane it was until he said that when I asked him to teach. So the trade off was I was like,
Congrats,
teach me
dude.
digital marketing, and I was like, I'll do your business shots. He has a business partner as well, so I was
Okay.
like, I'll do your shoot for free. We could do 2 hours. I was like, all I ask for return is 2 hours of digital marketing trade.
Okay.
That's worth more than me like making a quick buck off of them or.
But you're pretty open like on your social media, and one thing that I've seen in your stories is that your months are booked. Like they're booked. You got color coordinating and
Depends
all
on the
that.
season. Depends on the season.
Gotcha.
So in this area, because not just this area, mostly holidays. No matter where you go, it drops off. Most people are spending either time with their family or money on their family. You're talking about Christmas, stuff like that. So their pockets aren't as fat to be able to spend X amount of money on a shoot or a video or whatever it is. So holidays drop off a little bit.
Gotcha.
And winters are a little slow in this area or just like colder states. Just because no one, you could do studio stuff. Most people want outside pictures and stuff like that. Unless it's like a snow shoot or something like that.
Right.
But even then you can't really bank on it because some years you'll have, no snow and it'll just be freezing cold. Other years you'll have, 5 feet of snow.
Did you do any snow shoots? Like we've had a good amount of snow.
I don't like
here.
the cold. I don't like the cold.
I feel you.
Yeah, and then the other thing is like the snow lately. It's like it'll be really bad to drive in the day it's snowing, and the next day it'll be straight, but it'll be like 60 degrees, so the snow's melting.
I got you.
So you see like the grass and stuff coming up. So it's like, all right, can't do a snowshoot.
All right.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it just varies, but yeah, winter months, just holidays in general tend to drop off, but I mean, come February, I'm starting to get booked for March again. Right now it's today's March 1st or 2nd? March 2nd. All my weekends for this month are booked, and then I'm booked into most of my weekends in April are booked. Wow. I started to get booked in May already.
Nice.
So it depends seasonally. Spring through fall is insane. Winter, it's hit or miss.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
So, all right, your weekends are booked. What do you do during the week? Like, obviously, you have shoots that you do. Like, but are they usually like a type of shoot? Like, I don't know, like corporate shoots, like
So I
headshots
do
or something.
most of the shoots. I get random work during the week. I'll get corporate headshots, like you just mentioned. Sometimes different videos. But a lot of the time during the week, I use that time to edit the work that I did over the weekend.
Gotcha. Okay.
It gives me time to decompress before the next shoot or whatever, or event, whatever it is that I'm shooting that next weekend.
Okay.
Other times I'm always trying to learn. So I'll watch YouTube videos or do market research and stuff like that in my free time. It could be updating my portfolio. It could be researching companies to reach out to get more clients.
Gotcha.
Stuff like that. So I'm always either trying to learn or trying to reach more people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And rewind. You talked about concerts. There's a photographer, Chase Fade. I'm not sure if you know who he is. He is the photographer for Boz, J. Cole's artist.
Yeah.
On Dreamville.
Yeah.
And one thing that he did that I thought was really, really cool and really powerful is he outlined how he became the official photographer for him, talking about how he would do free shoots at concerts, like he would do shoots for like upcoming artists, and then like I guess Boss was there one time and then he did his shoots. Boss loved the shots that he took.
Yeah.
Brought him on.
Yeah.
Is that something that you would be interested in doing? Like, would you want to become a
if I were to do a
photographer for an
concert
artist?
photographer or an artist photographer, I would want to do it within the next 3 years. I just turned 25 in January.
Okay.
I think by the time I'm like 28, I don't really want to be traveling like that. I want to have like my base and business set. But then again, you never know how life. If Drake hit me up at 28, my ass is hopping on tour. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's all situational. The dream would be to do it within the next 2 years.
Okay.
That's not where my priority is. So in the meantime, I've just been shooting concerts. If it happens, it happens. But I'm not like thirsty to shoot.
Gotcha.
Or follow an artist on tour or anything. I would love the experience. It's probably like one of those things I would do like probably twice ever and just probably be done with it.
Gotcha.
I don't see that as like my life, just be on the road all the time.
Yeah.
But again, if Drake hit me up tomorrow,
That's Drake.
I'm
man.
hopping on that
That's
bus.
Drake.
Exactly. So it's situational.
What was the last concert you did?
I don't remember the exact date because I shot a bunch of concerts in a row. I think it was in November. I Billie Eilish.
Oh, nice.
I shot Sabrina Claudio.
Shit.
And then I shot, it was Miguel and Division. They went on tour. I feel like there was one other one that I shot. Yeah, they were for whatever reason everyone was touring around that time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have exact dates or which one was first or which one was last, but that was all within like a couple weeks.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so
Is
I haven't posted any of those, but
is that just fun to do?
yeah.
Okay.
So I love music, like love music.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have any musical ability, but I have a serious love and passion for music. I just love being around it. I'm always like when I'm editing,
Mm-hmm.
always listening to music, like in the car, always, like I'm always listening to music. So I just have it's art at the end of the day. I love art overall.
Right.
I just happen to be in one art form.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love music. It's a perk because you get in for free.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So the way a lot of people don't realize this, but with concerts, you shoot the first 3 songs,
Mm-hmm.
and they kick you out. Like security kicks you out from
Mm-hmm.
like the pit
Okay.
area. Yeah, that's it. You can't
Okay.
use flash, so you have to make sure like you either know what you're doing when you're editing, or fix your settings quick while you're shooting. Because again, you have those 3 songs and you're
Right.
out of there. But yeah, then you can shoot the rest of it most of the time from like the crowd or you know if there's like a higher level, wherever you want to do. But as far as like being up close, you get those 3 songs and that's it. So you got to make sure you get your shot.
How do you get the connection to be in the pit, to be right there, to take those
To be
shots?
honest with you, just reaching out. So you
Okay.
never want to. So anyone that's watching and wants to shoot concerts, never reach out to the artist directly. Reach out to find. The way I do it is like I'll find the artist. I go on their Instagram, their Twitter, their Facebook, and their SoundCloud. And from one of those, normally you can find either press contact or general manager. Find that contact, grab their email, tell them, who I am. I tell them I'm interested in shooting. Because a lot of times the managers, they don't just manage one artist unless it's like someone big time.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, they might be working for a label or they might have other artists under them. So I don't say, hey, I'm interested in shooting, this concert. Like they could have 2 other artists that have concerts that same date or around that time frame. So I say I'm interested in shooting, so-and-so's concert. And I say the date and location so that I'm specific about, there's zero confusion.
Right.
I say it's for my portfolio, so it's clear that, they're not just going to be out there somewhere, it's for, whatever, I just want to be clear and transparent the whole way through. And then I tell them if they would like the access to the pictures, I have no problem sending them to them as well. I just tell them, if they have any additional questions, to let me know, and then I'll provide my link to my concert portfolio specifically instead of like just my homepage for my
Right.
portfolio, because most of the time they don't have time or they don't care to be digging through my site and trying to find concert
For sure.
stuff. So I send them the link to my concert stuff specifically. And then I also recently, what started working for me better was I started including like 4 concert pictures, like some of my favorite ones on the email.
Okay.
Because in case they don't feel like clicking on the link,
Yeah.
they're all the pictures are right there. And sometimes you don't get a reply. It's either 2 things. They never say no. It's either you don't get a reply or they tell you yes. Yeah, that's how it works out.
Yeah.
And they just like ask for your full name, so they can leave your name at press. You go to the ticket box, give them your ID. They give you your badge, and then after that you just go in.
Right.
Yeah.
Keys. Though.
Facts. No, this
Big
is stuff
keys,
that I had to
that's what's
learn
up.
like the hard way. Actually, let me tell you a quick story. Getting into concerts, I wanted to do concerts for a long time. Didn't know how to get into them. Didn't have any work to show. None of that. So what I started doing was, when I go to concerts, so, just going to concerts, I would use my phone. Around this time, like, phone cameras started getting better.
Right.
So I just started using my phone. Sometimes I'd crop out like the bottom of or the top of someone's head, so it's just the artist. Or sometimes I would frame it where I'm like, say there's 2 people here and the artist is there on stage. I would frame it so it's like the 2 people's heads are there, but you can see the artist and the artist is clear, but the people are blurred.
Right.
And you can crop it certain ways and the whole night, and people never knew. And I was using that for my portfolio to start, and that's how I started reaching out to.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, that's how I started reaching out to like the managers and whoever. Like, here's my concert portfolio, and they started giving me passes and stuff.
So you just got really good at editing. Really
Yeah,
good at
and
editing.
finessing. Yeah. But for wedding photography, I did the same thing. So I did wedding videos for about a year or 2. I was like, man, I really want to get in wedding photography. when you're doing wedding video, at least for me, I don't want to speak on everyone, but I normally have more downtime than the photographer. With video, you can have someone redo something. The only things you have to really get are like, first dance, walking down the aisle. Even if you like, so say like, the aisle's long normally. So say I realized I wasn't recording the first 5 seconds of them walking down the aisle. Cool, I can get the last 15 seconds and I'm still good.
Yeah.
If you're a photographer, like, you don't have much room to mess up or whatever. So what I started doing was I would make sure I got my video shot first. Whenever I had downtime or I had already gotten the video shot that I needed, I was taking pictures.
Gotcha.
And then a lot of times I would meet, the photographer, become friends with them. Sometimes they'd be, shooting, the couple here, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm shooting off from the side, and it looks like, and if like, they're doing like a fake kiss or whatever for the picture, I'm off to the side. It's pretty much the same angle. Mm-hmm. Or like, if it's group shots, the photographer is lower. I'll stand on the chair behind the photographer. I'm getting the same shot.
Right.
So I just had to finesse my way into having a wedding portfolio for photography and doing the same thing. That's so you just have, like, if you really, really want to do something, you'll find a way to do it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, one way or another, you'll find a way. So that's how I started getting wedding photography bookings. It was, like, candids, or, like, a lot of times they were weddings that I got hired for video for.
Right.
And I was just taking pictures on the side.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely finesse. But real quick, man, I really want to talk about how you linked up with 413 Apparel.
Yeah.
And because you're the official photographer.
Yeah.
So how did that come about?
All right. So, so again, like I mentioned earlier, I always wanted to get into everything and see if I liked it or didn't like it.
Right.
I don't want to knock something till I try it. So, my friend, Des Jasper, graduated the same year as me. He went to Broad Run. We were never friends exactly, but we always had the same. I had a lot of friends that went to Broad Run, so we were always in. We had a lot of mutual friends.
Gotcha.
He graduated from Radford at the same time I graduated from Mason. He was home working, I was home working, and he started like posting fitness stuff on Instagram, and I hit him. I was like, yo, I felt comfortable, reaching out to him. Again, we knew like a lot of the same people. We knew who each other were. We just didn't know each other personally.
Right.
So I hit him. I was like, hey, I see you, starting to post fitness stuff. And he was posting, like, phone against the wall, recording stuff like that. I was like, if you ever, need fitness content, let me know. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, I definitely do. So we met up one day at Stonebridge, shot some stuff, and, like, looking back, like, that shit is trash. Mm-hmm. But you got to start somewhere.
Right.
And started shooting that stuff. Had no idea who his brother was. Now I was shooting for him we were shooting stuff for, like, a year.
Okay.
One day he's like, yo, my brother's coming home from San Diego. In a couple weeks, he wanted me to ask you if he can get some shots. I was like, yeah, it's cool. I'm not tripping, fitness stuff, whatever. Brother comes home, I meet him. Come to find out, he's a bodybuilding.com athlete,
right.
Like biggest supplement company in the world.
Yeah.
I had no idea. And so we became real close. And then about a year, so I think he came home twice within like that year from San Diego. Shot him a couple of times. We talk here and there. Mm-hmm. Me and Des we were hanging out often, shooting often. So I just became like they're my brothers now. Mm-hmm. Became close with them, and like about a year after I met Ricky, he was like, "Hey, I'm thinking about starting this apparel line." He's like, He had actually started it already. Actually,
okay.
He just didn't have any content behind it.
Okay.
He was like, you are obviously me and my brother's first choice to handle content for it. He's like, you have creative freedom. It's up to you if you want to be a part of it. I was like, yeah, it's cool. And I'd never done clothing stuff at all. So a lot of that stuff I learned on my own. It was like more fitness opportunities for me.
Right.
So I was like, yeah, absolutely. Here we are.
Man.
Yes.
So what year was that? What year did you get linked up with them for 413?
So I linked up with Dez specifically 2016. 413 was 2017. Fall 2017, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Fall 2017.
And you do a lot of work for them on the West Coast, right? Like you do.
Yeah. So I'm going out there next month actually.
Okay.
But every few months.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's normally around. I mean, there's been times we've gone out there on work related. Mm-hmm. Just like kick it with them.
Yeah.
I love California.
Rightfully so, man.
Yeah. So I have friends in LA, so we'll go up to LA for a few days and kick it with them, and then it's a 2-hour drive. Go to San Diego for like a week.
Gotcha.
Just chill, hang out. I mean, shoot some stuff, obviously, but but I'm going out there next month to shoot stuff for the spring launch.
Okay.
So we have a spring launch officially launching the end of April. Okay. But I'm shooting, so I'm getting all the products being finalized and productions being finished.
Okay.
I'm getting all that stuff sent. the end of this month, doing all the product shoots here. I'm doing lifestyle shoots out there like a week or two later in San Diego. Yeah. So.
Do you get to travel a lot for work? Like, do you?
Yeah, this past year was lovely. God looked out.
Really?
Yeah.
What are some of the dopest places you've been?
So like I said, San Diego, LA often. I'll go there, 20 times a year. I'm not tripping. We went to so we had the opportunity to partner with bodybuilding.com for Olympia in Vegas this past September.
It's a huge event.
Yeah.
Like
one of the top, it's either that one or like the Arnold's this
something?
weekend too. So between Olympia and Arnold, it's like the two top ones. So one of the top two fitness events in the world. So yeah, we got to collab with bodybuilding and outfit their athletes that were at the expo. Wow. So we were in Vegas, which was lit. Last month, kind of perfect timing. We were on a fitness cruise. They contacted Ricky because he's like a fitness influencer, and a lot of people that he knew. So I met a lot of people on the cruise that through him. But this company basically rented out Royal Caribbean and gave all these fitness influencers a free trip.
Wild on the Waves. Yeah, I know some CrossFitters.
Yeah, it was a big CrossFit event. And then so the way it worked is like Ricky, got a couple. He got to pick people he wanted to go with. So he obviously picked me, picked Des, and then I just had to type in his code at checkout, and like the balance went from like 1,500 to 0.
Word.
It checked out. So that was January. That was my birthday week actually.
Okay.
So that was perfect. So we went to Miami for a day before. Ported out of Miami, went to the Bahamas, and then came back to Miami. Stayed in Miami for like an extra day because we got back on my birthday, which was a Friday, and we stayed that Saturday. So I mean, like if it weren't for fitness, I wouldn't have been on that cruise.
Right.
I mean, I just travel. I'll go to other places too, like unwork related. Yeah, I almost had a wedding in October in Cabo.
Wow.
The couple
what happened?
The couple backed out. Bro, met with them in person.
What did they backed out of?
Out of me.
Backed out of the
but
wedding.
I was sick. I was sick because I cut my rate and everything for them.
Oh,
and like
man.
I sent them we met in person. They were straight on numbers.
Yeah.
The whole nine. Like we agreed. Went home, sent them the contract, and like whenever people were like, after I sent a contract and people were like, I don't ever chase anyone ever.
Okay.
Like if you are serious, you always get back to me.
Right.
And professionally, if I don't hear back from you in like a week or two, I'll follow up. But I'm not gonna chase you down. So I followed up. They're like, yeah, we're just working some things out. And I was like, all right, cool. It's no problem at all. And I still, I believe them because they responded to that quickly. Then, like 2 weeks go by, still don't hear back. And I followed up again. I was like, hey, just checking on y'all, whatever. Didn't hear back. And they hit me like a week or two after that. Okay. And they're like, yeah, we decided to go another route. Like, I don't care if you don't hire me. It's like, I have a life and a schedule. Like, let me know. But I was pissed. The only thing I was tight about was because, like, I met with them for an hour. Because I did their engagement pictures.
Gotcha.
So I met with them for an hour just to, like, no shooting, just to work numbers out. Cut my rate so they could afford me to go there and, do their stuff. And, yeah. Also, almost went to thank you.
For a wedding
so
shoot,
almost
like,
went to almost went to Cabo.
Obviously, I would have been on your dime, not theirs.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
all right.
yeah,
Just making sure. I didn't know if you had it like that.
Nah.
But yeah, man, I saw on your story that you got to do some work with Grant Cardone. That's really, really cool. How did that happen?
So I was doing work for a real estate company. They're not good people, so I'm not going to name drop. But they're based in Arlington. They do insane amounts of volume. Okay. They know how to sell the shit out of houses and homes. But the owners are just like not the best people. I was there for, 2-3 months. And my second week being there, 4 people quit. Then I stayed. So for me, I was already, like, again, I'm doing my own thing. So I was using it as just side money. So I was getting like good money from it. So I'm not tripping, but
were you an agent? Is that what you?
Nah, I was doing media for them. I was doing media.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so then and then since I've left, there's been a lot of people who have left. But regardless, they flew me down. They paid Grant Cardone to because they had an event a few months ago. Okay. He was the main speaker for the event. Gotcha. So as a promo, they went down there, interviewed him, paid to interview him, whatever. Flew me down to shoot that. I was doing some other work for them down in Florida like that week. But yeah, that's how it happened. Met his media team, was in his office. Like, Nice guy. Talked to
Yeah.
him a couple of times. Yeah.
Did you drop some knowledge?
Nah, just from like I got enough just from that interview.
Word.
I don't really get starstruck. Like you got to be like fucking like LeBron James for me to be like starstruck. But like
Or Drake?
yeah, exactly, exactly. But especially like the level I'm trying to get to, like you can't be starstruck. Like, you gotta treat everybody how they are.
Speaking of like business influencers, I know you post like a lot of Gary Vee. Is he your number one go-to?
I just like how real he is. So Grant Cardone's real as well. But Grant Cardone's more, I guess, financial gain incentive.
Yeah, I think he's more buttoned up compared to Gary Vee as well.
Yeah, Gary Vee's more. The way I see them is like, Gary Vee's more about happiness and following your passion. Grant Cardone's more money driven.
Gotcha.
And there's no, it's not wrong either way. They're just different. But I just relate more to Gary Vee. I get everything that Grant Cardone's saying, so I'm not knocking it. But I've just, in my personal life, as far as like the past like 2 years, 3 years, doing this stuff professionally, I've just related to Gary Vee stuff more.
Yeah. He posts a lot about content because he watching some of his stuff like back in like 2008, 2009, he was talking big about content like way before like influencers and stuff even came about. So that's pretty cool to see.
Which is crazy to think about because like 2008, like MySpace was popping.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like MySpace was still lit in 2008. Right. 2009 it started to fade out. Facebook became a thing. But like 2008, like MySpace was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he knew.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, man, speaking on your IG, you've done a lot of work. In like we said, 2015 is when you picked up the camera. 2014. For creatively, 2014, right? So about 5 years.
14, yeah.
Yeah, so 5 years. You've done, Grant Cardone. You've done style. You've done fitness. You've done crazy videos. Your fitness videos are dope as hell.
I appreciate
by the way, I saw you did BlurredCon, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, you've done a lot in a short amount of time. Is there any type of shoot that you don't want to do, like you turn down no matter what?
There's 3.
Okay.
I don't do pets. I'll tell you each one why. I don't do pets, I don't do maternity, and I don't do newborn. Pets I don't do. I did it one time for it was actually a girl that I worked with at the doctor's office when I was a receptionist. She did Saturdays too. She had 2 dogs. She wanted pictures with them, and like most of the time you're doing pets, it's outside.
Yeah.
And we were in a park obviously, and like her dogs were trained, but like, they see another dog walk by, like they're looking. Squirrel walks by, they're looking. They smell something, they're sniffing. So it's like, you just like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can get them to stay in the same place, but it's just frustrating because you can't make them do what you want to do.
Right.
Say I'm taking pictures of you, right? You're looking the wrong way. I could just be like, hey, look this way. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Maternity, it's just not my thing. I don't have like a real reason. It's just not my thing.
Okay.
So anytime I get hit up for maternity, but I always pass it off to a friend of mine. Newborns, I'm scared of babies.
What you mean?
They're like not like, I don't like babies until they can crawl or walk. They're just so fragile when they're newborns.
Right.
That I'm afraid of hurting them or dropping them. Not dropping them, but like hurting them, like whatever it is. Like it's just too great of a risk.
But like you're not holding the baby during
I know,
the shoot.
but like you still gotta pose them and stuff. It's just too
got
great
you.
of a risk.
Okay.
I'm not doing it. I'm
Okay.
not touching nobody's baby.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you.
nah. And then like also like the timing has to be right. So like I talked to someone about it. I'll do it for friends, right? Like other than that, and we gotta be friends. Newborn, no.
Okay.
I did maternity once.
Okay.
Like I said, I did pets once.
Yeah.
I've never done newborn, but I talked to someone about it recently, and it's like you got to be on there. You got to be aware of like the feeding schedule or like their sleeping schedule,
Right.
or stuff. So there's a lot of factors aside from like say like we schedule it for like 3:00, right? Say I don't know, your baby's like off its sleeping pattern, like didn't sleep last night, right? Was up all night crying, and then asleep, or like it works better when they're sleeping. So let me rewind.
Yeah.
Let me say they fell asleep earlier in the day, messed up their nap for later in the day.
Okay.
Then you got a baby that's alert, probably crying.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it, dog.
feel
I'm
you.
not doing
I
it.
feel you.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So aside from like them being fragile, it's also like there's a lot of factors that go into it, like timing wise.
Okay. What about a shoot that you've always wanted to do, just haven't had the chance yet?
Probably just like backstage of like a festival or like a concert.
Okay.
Most of the time I'm like shooting them like performing.
Okay.
So that's like more like it's a blend of like portraits and concert.
Okay.
But I mean, like, I've done portraits and concerts, so I've kind of done it.
Okay.
Just haven't done it to the degree that I want. But I think that's probably the only thing that I want to get in, that I want to try that I haven't done.
How do you get into festivals? Same thing? Just email whoever is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes you can partner with, like, or work for, like, a media outlet. So I did All Things Go Festival, like, 2-3 years ago in D.C.
Okay.
And I was shooting for a company at the time.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's how I got that. But there's a girl I know, she shot Moonrise last year. She was partnered with a magazine.
Okay.
So there's different media outlets you can connect with and get into it.
Do you like connecting with media outlets, or do they take like a lot of your creativity or money away?
No, I mean, they rely on you
Okay.
to do the job. So as far as like, you know, they might have a certain artist that they want you to shoot, or like a certain stage, or, you know, if it's a festival, they have certain stages and stuff like that. Other than that, they just let you kind of do your thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. If you could, you know, be most known for just one type of genre of photography, what would it be? Or can you even see that?
Portraits or concert or fitness. Probably fit. I have my positive and negative feelings about the fitness industry. So I don't know about fitness.
Speak on that real quick. Like, what are some of the negative or
Just the past couple years from like seriously like being in the like, yeah, I don't have a super big following on Instagram, but like if you look at my followers, like there's some like fitness industry people that like follow me, that I talk to, that I know, and just like seeing, and not talking about them specifically, but just like the industry, it's like it's just a lot of fake stuff. I don't like how it makes a lot of people feel like insecure about themselves.
Okay.
But it's just not, and again, not talking about everyone, but like there's just a lot of like fake stuff specifically like because of the fitness industry.
What do you mean?
It's like superficial.
Okay.
Just like people are one way on social media. I mean,
Okay,
that's with anything, but it's
Yeah.
more so with the fitness industry. And then like, you know, so say like, I have friends that are in fitness. You know, I follow like other big fitness people, whatever. And so I see like, yeah, half of my Instagram feed is fitness related. So it's like I see this friends, right? And it's like their post is like a swipe workout post, right? It's like swipe videos, and it's like leg day, you know, whatever it is. And it's like swipe video, right? Scroll down a little bit, another fitness post. Guess what that shit is? Swipe workout. I'm like, all right, cool. You know, they're both, you know, posting the same thing. Scroll. Swipe workout. So it's just like a lot of people are doing the same exact thing.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, to me, it's like the fitness industry is definitely drying up. A lot of people are running out of ideas. The booty pics was like the thing for a stretch. Then booty pics faded away and people wanted real and authentic and deep shit.
Right, bro.
So like you have like
booty pics on
thank
Instagram in a long
you.
time. That's
So
crazy.
then you started getting the long thought out captions.
Big facts.
It's right.
Okay.
Then you started seeing.
It's crazy, man.
Then you started
seeing,
yeah.
the industry was that
exactly
contained. Like people just literally just follow off of whatever.
It's probably it's arguably the biggest industry on social media, but it's the smallest because it's so big. If that makes sense.
Creatively, there's not too much happening.
Exactly. So that's why I try to like make like
crazy.
insane like
That's
fitness
crazy.
videos and stuff to
Yeah.
just like diversify. But yeah, I mean like then after the whole like long thought out caption phase, it was they would post a workout, right? And then as of the past couple months, it's been like the swipe workouts. But then after the swipe workouts, it became like a girl like posing or like doing a little dance before they're, you know what I'm saying? You seen it, right?
Yeah, bro. I know what you're talking
So,
about.
but everyone does that.
Yeah.
So it's like they're all, I don't know who's starting the shit or who's like, you know, coming up with like the idea and everyone else is
Big ass
copying
group,
it.
man.
But
Big ass group on
yeah.
Instagram
So
talking
for
about
me,
it.
it's like that industry is definitely drying up. Like
Okay.
I have the fitness industry being, and like from being at the expos and stuff like that. Like when I was at Olympia, I thought it was massive, right? I was talking to people that have been at, you know, the Arnold or like the Olympia before, and they were like, yeah, this is the smallest year that I've seen. And like these are people that have been like the past few years, and I'm like, yo, this is like I can't even like walk in this junk. There's so
Right.
many people, and like, you know, so it's apparent within like even the fitness events. And if you're like really paying attention to the fitness industry, you can see how small it is. It's a lot of repetition, a lot of people doing the same thing.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Why? Or like I said, you really your fitness videos are dope. Like they're crazy.
Thank
I
you.
don't see anything like that.
Yeah.
would you want to be like the change in the fitness industry
Oh,
in
yeah,
terms of like
yeah,
videography?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
You don't
yeah.
post. You don't. Do you like post a lot like to I don't know. Like do you tag like the big fitness pages to repost your videos or anything like
But
that?
the thing is, as far as like the big fitness pages, is it's either supplement companies or it's big fitness people. So unless the only reason, like the only way I'll tag, big fitness person is like if I shoot that person.
I got you.
I don't like to be reaching. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, yeah. No,
I got you. Just
no.
not your style.
I mean, I'll still like if someone's wearing like Nike and like a workout video, I'll tag Nike or something. Like, there's a like a infant, like a super small chance that Nike, someone from Nike will see it, but like
Right.
I don't mind tagging Nike.
I got you.
But
Okay.
yeah,
How much do you rely on social media? Like Instagram.
yeah.
In particular, like how has that been for you in terms of growing your personal brand?
It's been super beneficial, especially like these first two like growing years. To be honest with you though, like I used to rely on posting. Now it's like again mostly referrals and word of mouth. So like
Okay.
my Instagram's built up enough for like I could just not post for this whole year, right? And people would like say, hey, check out this person's page, or like if someone's looking for something, they'll still tag me. I used to get tagged on, or people used to tag other people under my posts. Now it's more so like they'll just send my at through like through DM and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So for real, like my Instagram is built up enough where I don't really need to post anymore. I'll still post and stuff, but I really don't need to because everything that I want to cover is in that.
Okay.
So I'm mostly getting referrals at this point instead of trying to show what I can do.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you care about like the likes and the followers? And all
No,
that stuff?
so it's crazy when I first started. I would see like these big photographers or videographers like getting crazy amounts of likes, and I thought that was dope. I was like, yeah, I want to get to that. But then I realized like, I just got to the point where I realized like that's not where I get my happiness and where I see my value from. There's some photographers that are sick, get thousands of likes. There's some photographers that I've seen have less followers than me, insane work. So like I had to learn just the past couple years of doing this full time that your value isn't determined by how many likes you get on social media.
Right.
That's social media is super superficial. So if you're doing it for the right reasons, whether it's you're passionate about it or you want to help people or whatever your reason is, as long as you're fulfilling that passion or that reason why you're doing it, then you don't need to be worried about getting likes on Instagram. Do likes help? Yeah. Do more people see your stuff? Yeah. But
Right.
I mean, I'm surviving off of 5,000 followers right now.
Right. And plus, are a lot of your followers even in this area, or you have like, I mean,
So
I'm
because
sure you
so
don't
I mean
check,
I do a lot of work in like San Diego and stuff, so I have like a good amount of San Diego followers.
Gotcha. Do you do shoots out there? Like when you go out there, do you
Yeah,
schedule
yeah,
shoots?
yeah. So I take work when I can. It's not my priority because I'm going out there most of the time for 413. I have to make sure my 413 stuff is taken care of.
Gotcha.
Before I can worry about other stuff. But I do have people hit me up. Most of the time when they hit me up, I'm not out there. So I told them the next time I'm going to be out there so they could schedule stuff. But I have a lot of Richmond followers.
Okay.
I know a lot of people that went to BC. That's probably why.
Gotcha. Do you do work out there? Do you go to Richmond?
Yeah,
often?
so I'm actually going after I get back from California next month to do grad pictures.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, something that I think is really cool on your page
Mm-hmm.
is you do like the 3 posts. So like you basically take up like a line, and
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen that. Like what made you want to do that?
I will not lie. I saw someone do it before me.
Ah.
Um,
Okay.
I don't remember who it was because I've been doing it for like 3 years now.
Mhm.
3 years. Yeah, 3 years. Because it's crazy how Instagram has like now they'll show you like if you go into like your archive thing, they show you like this post was from 2 years ago or whatever.
Okay.
There was one for 3 years ago, like a few weeks ago, and that was like I think it was like the third row that I did like when I first started doing it. So I've been doing it for like 3 years now. But there was someone I saw do it before me. I just stuck with it, and then I kind of did it to show more of my work, because like say I do like a 2-hour shoot, right? I'm probably sitting on like 200-300 pictures,
Right.
and for me to show one picture out of, and obviously I could post more like down the road, like I don't just have to post one picture from that shoot ever.
Yeah.
But I also like don't want to recycle the same stuff, so I was like, all right, cool. I'm just gonna make 3 rows, and I'll just post, one closer shot, like a portrait. One, I'll try to frame them where it's like one close, one medium, and one further away. It doesn't always work out that way. But then the other reason was because at the time you couldn't put more than one picture in one post.
Oh, okay.
So that feature is like a year old now, maybe 2
Okay.
years old now. So at the time when I was doing it, like that wasn't an option.
That's funny.
So then Instagram made this, and
Yeah.
I was kind of mad when they did it too, because I was like, I've literally been doing this to show more of my work, and now it's like, cool, y'all added this feature, and it's like you can just do the same thing. But so like now I'll still do it sometimes, but I've been doing it for so long. Like I think it was a year ago I actually like did a poll on Instagram, and I was like, should I switch to like normal posting or like do the 3 layout thing? And everyone voted for like the 3 layout thing. So I guess people like it.
Yeah, it makes your page look really dope and different than any other photographers that I've seen. A big reason why we wanted to get you on the podcast, obviously we're fans.
Yeah.
But we also are trying to build a community, and that's something that I've realized that you're really big on. Like, it was one of your stories, or not one, it was like literally like maybe 10, 20 story posts.
Yeah.
And like you shouted out
a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, so many different entrepreneurs and people who are in different fields in order to try to connect them. Why is that so important to you?
For me, it's important because the past few years of doing this, I've had to network on my own, struggle on my own, find whatever on my own, reach out to people on my own, and through that I've met a lot of people, and I know a lot of people trying to do something they're passionate about, which is what I'm doing. So I feel strongly about that. I just want people to succeed. Like I don't expect. Like I don't even know if I got any referrals from other. Like I gained some followers from like doing that. My goal was to never like gain followers or gain. Oh, I hope people shout me out and I get booked more. Like that was never my intention. I just want to see people succeed, especially when they're doing something they love. So like, it's like for example like Des, he does online training as well as in person personal training. And anytime like people are talking to me about like, yeah, I need to lose some weight or like I'm trying to put some muscle on, I'm like, yo, hit my boy. He does online. You don't have to go to the gym to see him. Whatever it is. Like I do that. That's just one example. But I do that for like a lot of things. Like I mentioned earlier, like I don't do maternity stuff, so I refer that to my boy. There was a girl that hit me up 2 days ago on Instagram. Don't know the girl. She found me from a girl that came down one time and booked me from New York. A year ago actually. That girl referred her to me.
A year ago referral.
Yeah.
That's what's
yeah.
up.
That girl referred her to me, so she DM'd me, and she was trying to book me she wanted pictures of her and her boyfriend during the cherry blossoms in April. Okay. I'm out of town, so I just sent her to my boy. Anytime I'm booked or something I don't do, I don't mind sending stuff to other people. That goes a longer way than, and that same dude, like he's let me borrow equipment. He's referred other people to me. Like, there's enough out here for everyone. It's like, that's why I tagged 20 trainers.
Yeah,
like,
and you tagged other photographers, which is what I thought was really, really dope, because like you're sharing your work essentially. Right. Like obviously you're like, yeah, please reach out to me too. Yeah. But you didn't shy away from that. You weren't like, photographers me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I think like there's two things with that. It's like, one, the first and most important part is like, if you are afraid of people taking your business, then you're either not providing a good enough quality or you're not confident in yourself. Anyone that I've shot, if they've shot, shoot with someone else, I don't get mad. Maybe I couldn't provide what they needed. Maybe they were looking for a different look. If they're not satisfied with that, I know for a fact they'll come back to me. But I don't take it personally. It just is what it is. The other part aside from that is like just networking. Like I've met, a lot of great people. Sometimes they do styles that I don't. Sometimes we do the same style. Sometimes you could be like, I do like a lot of bright pictures, colorful stuff like that. Right. This person could have more of a muted style or a darker style. My picture's style might not, I can edit in different styles, but my style that you're looking for might not overall speak to what you need. Right. So you can hit up someone else. Okay. I'm just confident in my own work enough to be able to refer to other people or shout at other people. Like I have a lot of other photographer and videographer friends. I don't mind, like if someone's looking for another photographer or videographer aside from me, they'll find them one way or another. Yeah. So I'd rather me direct people to people that I know personally that I trust, than me be scared of like losing people. Like, it's not that serious. There's enough out here for everyone. Yeah,
that's a really deep quote. Like because there really is. Like a lot of people are like they're scared of competition. Right. Or they think like if somebody else is eating, then it's taken off of their plate.
Right, and that's not the case. And if that's how you think, then that just means that you need to step your level, whether it's the service that you're providing, or your customer service,
right.
or the quality of your overall product. Like, something that you are doing needs to change if that's really how you feel.
I feel you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, one thing I wanted to talk about were the client reviews, dude. Your client reviews are epic, for one. But for two, like, you be going in, like, all the way in.
I try to keep it professional. So my Instagram, like, if anyone goes back, excuse me, if anyone goes back into my Instagram, they'll see, like, I had selfies in there, like, party pictures, like, and then, like I mentioned before, I just started posting, like, a couple photo shoots here and there, a couple of videos. When I started to get hit up for work, I was like, all right, let me just turn this into my... I didn't think to make it... At the time, no one was juggling multiple Instagrams. Mm-hmm. So I was like, cool, I'll just turn this into, like, my photography, videography, Instagram. So that's how that happened. Mm-hmm. Where was I going with this?
Back, somehow get into the client reviews.
Yeah, so... so I just try to keep it professional. I have a lot of friends on there, but I have some companies that are clients, too. You never know who's actually, like... My page is public, so I don't control who's... I have a private one too, but as far as that one, I use that one the most, so I don't control who's really looking at my stuff.
Right.
So yeah, I keep it. I mean, cussing to me isn't that big. Like, I'm not dropping F-bombs every sentence. Mm-hmm. If it's like, a shit every once in a while or something, like, it's not. And if you're a client or whoever it is, or a person or whoever it is, and that deters you from working with me, like, so be it. I'm gonna be myself. Then I'm not being disrespectful.
Right.
But yeah, I try to keep it professional, but real at the same time.
I feel you.
Yeah.
What's some of the biggest pet peeves you have from clients? Like, because I'm sure, like, there's something that pops up a lot in your work.
I'll give you a few. There's when I can't think of an exact phrase. There are some phrases, but I can't, in this instance, I can't think of one. But they'll contact me and expect me to, like, work for free, and it's like, unless you have something to offer me, which at this point, like, I've been doing this for a minute, like, followings don't impress me anymore. Nothing like it. Like, there's not too much besides, like, $1 that can, like, really get me to work with you for free, unless it's, like, a crazy opportunity that, like, I just wouldn't get otherwise. But people, like, it doesn't happen as often as it used to, but people, like, expect me to work for free. And it always starts with, oh my gosh, I love your work, and I'm like, here we go. But you got to stay professional and respond and stuff like that, and, like, I'll entertain a conversation. It's like, sometimes they'll do it, like, slick, like, if you ever need a model, or, like, or they'll translate into, like, we should shoot sometime. And I was like, all right, yeah, I'm available these dates, here's my rate, and they'll either, like, not respond, or they'll ask, or they'll say, this is the phrase, I will get back to you. And when they drop that phrase, I know for a fact I am not going to. I don't take it personal,
right?
But I just know internally, I'm like, cool, I'm not gonna hear back from this person, which is fine for me. I'm not gonna waste my time, but that's really the only pet peeve. I don't really get reschedules too often, besides, like, that story I told recently. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think I've gotten to a place now where it's like a lot of, like, the people that will bullshit don't even bother, like, reaching out to me anymore, because they know I'm, like, at a certain level.
Gotcha.
But I did go through a period of a lot of those people. Yeah.
I mean, that sucks.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. At least that helps you, like, weed out the people that aren't even worth your time. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this wouldn't be the Flyer Population Podcast unless we talked about music.
Yeah.
So what is something that you're listening to right now?
It's crazy. I was actually disappointed by that 2 Chainz LeBron project.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. You're disappointed?
But I will be honest and say I gave it a listen while I was working out yesterday.
Okay.
So I haven't listened to it.
All right.
But the song with Young Thug I have on repeat. I'm not gonna lie.
That joint slaps.
I've been listening to Offset's album.
Another hard album.
I do listen to a fair amount of, like, electronic, like, hype music.
Okay.
For when I work out, or I try to stay in it for when because that's mostly what I edit, like, the workout videos too. Okay. There's more like, different. It could be a change in pace or sound effects or whatever it is that allows me to, like, have more creative freedom editing to that than, like, a hip hop song.
Are there any artists in particular that people should check out?
Drake is, like, my number one.
I'm in the electronic
space. To be honest with you, I don't even have any, like, favorite electronic artists, because like, some artists do specifically remixes, right?
Okay.
Other artists will put out a song, but like they don't put out full projects like most other genres. They might do like a 5-song EP, or like they'll just put out singles all day long. So I can't, like, if there were like an electronic artist that I wanted to like shout out, like I couldn't if I wanted to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. You have a really dope quote on your page, and it's from Mark Twain. Or not from your page, from your website. Yeah. And it's the 2 most important days in your life are the day you were born and the day you find out why.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you found out why?
Yeah. Like I've mentioned a couple times, I didn't realize like this was what I was gonna end up doing. So even when I did do video in college, my goal was to work for a creative agency post college.
Okay.
There's none really in like the DMV area. I would have to go to like New York or California. So I just started doing like my own thing. And that's how like I kind of got into this. But as far as like realizing like this was it, I was with my family in Virginia Beach, probably 4 years ago now. I think 4 years ago. And I had my DSLR, like my first DSLR at the time. And I'm a morning person. Like, I'm up at like 5:36 like every day. Not weekends, but Monday through Friday. And I woke up one morning, like, you know, we were in the hotel or whatever. Woke up one morning by myself. Walked down to the beach. Just like took pictures and video at sunrise, which is like, most people aren't waking up to do that. Right. But to me, it wasn't even like a thought. It wasn't even like, I just kind of did it. Like, I was up.
Just
I was
natural.
like, yeah. And then I did it, came back, and my parents were like, yo, where were you at? Like, not even tripping. They were just wondering where I was at. I was like, oh, I just, you know, took some pictures and video of like, you know, sunrise. Did I say sunset? I meant sunrise.
No, you said sunrise.
Of sunrise. And my dad was like, my dad's an entrepreneur. He does basketball training full time. He's been doing it for like 10 plus years, like a long time. Yeah. So has that entrepreneur spirit. And he was like, you found it. And I was like, because I remember since like middle school, he was always like, you know, find your passion, find your passion, find your passion. I was always like, all right, cool. It's just me and my pops. I never like understood that.
Right.
I thought it was always just like, okay, cool. I like this thing. Like, I liked communications, so I was like, cool, I'm gonna do communications. Right. Because I wanted to do like sports marketing. I was like, cool. I like sports. I like communications. I'll just do sports marketing. I thought that was it. And then he kept driving me. He's like, find your passion, find your passion, find your passion. And like high school comes, and he's like, you know, more heavy into it. Like, yo, you got to start figuring out your life. Find your passion, find your passion, find your passion. And then like after I came into a hotel room, he was like, and they asked what I was doing. I told him. He was like, you found it. And I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, you found your passion. And I was like, why do you say that? I just like went out and took pictures and videos of sunrise. And he was like, exactly. And he was like, how many people are doing that? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I just wanted to do it, so I did it. And he was like, yeah, but you enjoyed doing that, and you woke up at 6 o'clock to catch the sunrise. Right. And he's like, not many people are doing that. And that's like light bulb went off. Damn. And that's like kind of when I dove into it after that. It was like, I don't know. I just embraced it after that. Just kind of ran its course. I'm here now, so
yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, that's a powerful moment.
Yeah.
Is your relationship with your pops like something that has helped propel you to where you are? Like, does he help you out with like business acumen, things like that?
So kind of. Like, he gave me the confidence. So before I mentioned, like, I talked to my dad about it, making the leap into, you know, entrepreneurship and doing this full time. Yeah. I mentioned, you know, a friend that was actually Ricky, because Ricky had done it like 2 years prior, and then I mentioned I prayed about it. My dad's always both my parents actually have always like had confidence in me, have supported anything I wanted to do. My dad more so because he's in it, so he understands it to a different degree. My mom understands it, but like she's not in it, so he gets a little bit different. But he's always like, you know, giving support, just have my back. As far as like, we're in completely different fields, right? So it's hard for him to like really give me advice. I kind of just like do my own thing. And as far as like social media, I've had to figure that out myself because he's not big into social media at all. But yeah, so it's been I think initially there was a lot of support. I mean, there's still support, but initially like trying to figure out, there's definitely a lot of support from him as far as like trying to figure it out. And then from there, I just kind of took it and made it my own.
Right.
Yeah.
That's good, man. Can you ever imagine not wanting to shoot? Like
yeah.
I mean, like for good, like just hanging it up, really?
Yeah. My goal actually, so I started a wedding company 2 weeks ago.
Oh wow.
Bought the LLC like officially.
Wow. Like wedding photography company.
So it's gonna be nobody steal this idea since I'm putting it out here and it's not done yet. But it's gonna be all inclusive. So it's called the Wedding Collective.
Okay.
So it's photography, videography, DJ, design like menus and stuff like that.
Wow.
Hair and makeup.
Power
I'm
moves.
looking for a cake person.
Okay.
And a floral person. So if you do cakes or flowers, hit me up.
Wow.
But I basically, so from shooting all these weddings the past like 2 years, 3 years, I end up talking to, if I'm doing video, I'll talk to the photographer. If I'm doing photography, I'll talk to the videographer. I always talk to the DJ, end up talking to the planner or coordinator. Sometimes, like, depending on schedule, I'll run into hair and makeup. And just sometimes just like have conversations like, oh, how'd you get hired? Where do you live? Where are you from? Stuff like that. Sometimes it's referrals. Sometimes it's they found me on Facebook. Sometimes it's family friend. There's just an array of answers. But every single time that I've asked, there's never been, oh, we're work for this company and they hired us through the company. So I thought about it from the bride and groom's perspective. I'm like, yo, you're already planning your wedding. You're already stressed about your dress, all that stuff. How stressful is it to have to try to figure out all these other things aside from your actual all these things have nothing, they have stuff to do with the wedding, but as far as the wedding happening, they don't have anything to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So how stressful is that? So I did some research and I was looking for a company that included all the above, and most of the time it was just photography and videography or hair and makeup, but there was never a one-stop shop to go to all of them. So my goal, again, we just started. I have some weddings booked personally for the year already into 2020, but I was going to do a lot of networking this year. I've been telling people about the company low-key. So hopefully next year will be a big year. I have this being a growing year for the wedding company.
Right.
My eventual goal is to, continue being the owner, but I just want to be able to basically oversee and do less shooting. And then as far as my personal company, I'll go over that real quick. I have my LLC just under my name.
Okay.
I just want to eventually have a production company, and again do less shooting and be able to hire out so people can get work that I've struggled and had to learn how to get on my own. I'm building my network and getting more referrals and stuff like that. So I want to be able to hire out and do less shooting myself.
Okay.
So to answer your question, yes, I do see myself just putting I would still pick up the camera for fun.
Okay.
As far as grinding the way I am now, by the time I'm 30, I'm not trying to be doing this.
All right. So what can we expect from you in 2019? Is the wedding business going to be growing more? Are you going to be doing more shoots?
Look for the wedding company in 2020.
Okay.
I'm trying to get into more events and less photo shoots.
Okay.
So it might be more boring stuff from what I've been posting. Definitely more fitness stuff.
Okay.
Just to be honest with you, I don't have an actual answer for you. I'm still trying to figure it out. All this stuff is kind of all this stuff's kind of just happened how it's happened the past couple of years.
Okay.
Just following the path that God's laid out. But yeah, so we'll see. It'll be a story for me and whoever's involved. So.
Yeah, man. We definitely got to get you on the show again.
I'm down.
As things continue in progress.
Yeah.
But one of the last questions I have for you is, what keeps you motivated every day, man? How do you wake up and do this every day?
If you're doing something that you love, you shouldn't have to look for motivation to do it every day. I've never woken up damn, I don't, want to do this today, or damn, how am I going to find the motivation to do this today? It's I love doing what I do. If you're looking for motivation to do something, then you probably shouldn't be doing it. I'll leave it at that.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
All right, man. And lastly, how can people get in contact with you?
Instagram, Corey A. Gray, CoreyAGray. My website's the same.com. Easiest way to contact me. Shoot me a DM, email, whatever you need, I could probably do. So.
All right. Holla at the kid in case you need any type of work done. Obviously, no pets, no maternity, no newborns. But other than that, he's your man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming out today.
I appreciate you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
That's a wrap.